Well, it turns out that the fraud in all of the social services, specifically autism services, isn't just in Minnesota under Governor Tim Walz's watch. JD Vance is in charge of an anti-fraud task force, and they are seeing exponential increases in autism fraud across multiple states now. They've now uncovered something very disturbing in North Carolina, so the efforts that started in Minnesota looked out at California, and now they're going to red states and seeing astronomical amounts of fraud. This should really make your blood boil because, of course, it's obvious this is taxpayer money that is being siphoned off. But more importantly, and the focus that we all need to have, is that these types of services, the social services network, or in this case, the autism services, are there because we are a generous country and we are a country that wants to take care of people that are having issues such as autism. And in this case, an 11,000% surge in autism cases has been uncovered in North Carolina, and this is at multiples more than the children that are being diagnosed with autism. So we know the fraudsters are up to no good, and Donald Trump and JD Vance are all over it. Let's get to the details.
Now, we'll audit all 50 American states looking for potentially massive fraud in the billing of autism treatment. This is happening now amid a recent explosion in spending on autism services. North Carolina alone apparently saw an 11,000% increase in the last 4 years. Why was that? Good question for Alexandria Hoff, live in D.C. Alex, hello. Good morning.
Hey, Bill, yeah, it is a good question because according to that data coming out of North Carolina, the use of taxpayer-funded autism services is significantly outpacing the number of children being diagnosed. So something's not right there, and it's not just in the Tar Heel State. A recent analysis by the Cato Institute found that in 5 years, Medicaid billing has surged in every other state that makes their data public for money spent on ABA therapy. It's applied behavior analysis. That's what it's called. For reference, Minnesota's ABA spending increased by about 51,000% since 2018. We all know what happened there.
I'm going to pause this for a second. 51,000% increase in these services under Tim Walz's watch in Minnesota. Of course there is fraud. There is no doubt that there's multiples of hundreds of millions, if not billions, because you don't see that amount of exponential increase just year over year. The question is, did Tim Walz know, and when did he know it? And now it looks like this is branching out to other states, and Donald Trump is pissed, and he should be, because this is a winning issue to solve and to convict fraudsters in any state. So you heard it at the top of this piece. They're broadening this anti-fraud task force out to all 50 states, and they're recruiting attorney generals in each one of the states to assist, and they should. These people deserve to return those funds and to be put behind bars. This is not what America is about.
President Trump spoke on that yesterday.
You saw that with millions of dollars just being stolen. Everybody had autism. Everybody had autism, they said. It was incredible, actually. And I've just seen I see what they're doing. You haven't seen anything yet.
You know, it's not necessarily malice everywhere. That hasn't been proven yet. ABA therapy is considered a critical resource for children diagnosed with autism, but given its complicated billing structure, incentive to overbill, an influx of private equity-backed providers into that space, it's really being looked at like a gold rush. Audits so far by HHS's Office of Inspector General has uncovered $198 million in improper payments made in just 4 states, $410 million incorrectly billed. And examining this really depends on each state's ability to organize and analyze its own spending. That's why HHS is now deploying AI tools to double check that oversight and try to root out any possible fraud, Bill.
Again, private equity now, I didn't know this, is now getting involved in social services deployment at the state level. So no doubt there's going to be improper billing and fraud, because at this point, These private equity companies, whoever they are, have every incentive to profitize these social service networks. And you heard the young lady, over 400 million, and this is just before they started looking. And remember, Donald Trump gave us this quote, I think that we all need to hold on to. You ain't seen nothing yet. So this task force by JD Vance has just gotten started. Just in the last 45 days, they've uncovered multiples of billions of dollars across not only Medicaid, autism, hospice centers, learning centers in Minnesota. This is egregious amounts of fraud, and it has to stop. And getting a hold of this fraud at the state level, again, blue states or red states, it doesn't matter. This is a winning message for Donald Trump going into the midterms because we're all being pinched. We know that everything is increasing and that they're having a tough time controlling inflation, especially with the distraction overseas in Iran, screwing up all of the fuel and the fossil fuel network across the whole supply chain globally. So now we have these fraudsters, and the question is, what's going to happen with them? I can tell you, I prefer perp walks. I prefer long-term jail sentences because this type of behavior across all states, red or blue at this point, will not stop until these people are put behind bars. Return the money and get the fraudsters in jail for the long haul. That's what I want to see. I'm curious what your thoughts are, though. How do we stop this? Because we need to continue offering these types of services, but we need to have some safety nets, and clearly the states, both red and blue, aren't built, evidently, to have anti-fraud task forces and identification built in. If we're going to deploy billions of dollars to the state level for these services, we need to have guarantees that our money's not going to the criminals. What are your thoughts? The comments are wide open down below, so let me know what I missed. Let me know what you would do if you were in charge of the anti-fraud task force. And if you've yet, please do subscribe to the channel and like this video. It helps us a ton, and our mission here at the Chris Locke Show is to get an America First news into your inbox here and to make sure that other people are getting these types of stories, because the mainstream media is not giving us the truth. We know that. Here at the Chris Locke Show, my commitment to you is to give you the America First truth and to make sure that our Christian faith is the root of all of our logic. So again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you along for the ride, and we'll see you in the very next video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Chris Locke Show for the latest America First news, conservative commentary, and the stories that mainstream media refuses to cover. These two videos right up here, they're going to be next. Pick your favorite. I'll see you over there.